Hi everyone, my name is Joel Tremblay and this is the Truck Box. So the Truck Box is a 5x8 cargo trailer that I converted to be the ultimate camper and ice shack. So in this video, I'm going to show a full time lapse of the build from start to finish. As well, I'm going to do a very detailed walk around tour of the trailer after 2 years of use. Make sure to stick around for this one, it's going to be a good one. Okay, so the first thing I usually do, especially in the winter time, is I'm gonna start the heater. And what's the temperature today? -10. Now the other thing is I'm gonna crack open the roof vent just to allow some ventilation. While that's warming up, to unhook the trailer from the truck and level it. We'll pull the truck forward and I can lower the tongue down to the desired height. So that's pretty much all there is to it to set up the trailer. I have my 270-degree awning by OVS. Let's crack that bad boy open, because it takes about 60 seconds to set up and I love it. What I've done for the awning is I tied a adjustable knot that essentially allows me to move this knot along the main guy line, and I just have a carabiner with an eye loop attached to the roof rail here. That lets me pull it tight and it makes the whole thing adjustable. Let's get the other end on here and then we have our full awning set up. So that's the 270-degree awning all deployed, and then there's legs that come down. Weather is bad or snow, you usually set those up. They're telescoping, so they adjust to different ground level heights. What I've done differently since last time you've seen this awning, I actually made my own custom brackets using old bed rails. I don't know if you can see it there, the little black rail there. What I was able to do is lower the awning and shift it forward, so now I don't have a gap through the roof here. So this trailer started its life off as a 5x8 cargo trailer. It's a 2019 model by United Trailers. And I picked this thing up secondhand, and it was just a bare bones trailer, nothing special to it, single axle. And so you can see from the outside here, I've done a lot of upgrades, a lot of mods. Let's start from the front and work our way back. Here I have a tongue storage box where I keep all my tools and stuff to set up the trailer, as well as just some safety. Fire extinguisher. It's also where I routed my filter and my pump for my diesel heater. Attached to this tongue box is the fuel tank for the diesel heater itself. And you can see the pump and lines kind of go down below. And this whole unit is really easy to take off the trailer. There's just 2 leg bolts on either side that you can unhook, and then this whole thing pops off. I really like the setup because the pump is outside, and any kind of work I have to do around here for the diesel heater, it's super accessible and really easy to maintain. This is actually an upgraded fuel tank, and I'll leave a link in the description below. It is a lot more heavy duty than the ones that come with the Amazon units. The original fuel tank cracked along the whole top here only after 5 months of use, so this was a priority to get upgraded. So another upgrade I had to do was the exhaust. As you can see there, it is an actual stainless steel exhaust for diesel heater. I had to replace the one that I originally installed because it rotted out and actually just fell off. The diesel heater itself has been really good. After 10 months of use, I had to take it all apart to clean it, but that was more a user error. So since then, everything has been running flawlessly and I'm really happy with the setup. So on the sides here, I've installed some upgraded wheels, and these are 31-inch BF Goodrich all-terrains, and they are mounted to aluminum Alcoa rims. Those rims are a matching identical set to the truck. My spare tire here can actually work on the trailer or on my vehicle. So I like the versatility, and that's why I went this route, to have some redundancies, especially when I'm going out backcountry camping. So because I installed larger, more aggressive tires, I had to build custom fenders, and these are very heavy duty. They're made out of 1-inch steel stock tube and 16-gauge steel plate. One thing I've done since I built the trailer is I did some rhino line. Gives it a nice textured grip. It's really functional for utility. I installed one of my spare tires on the fender itself, and that's simply just attached with big lag bolts with eyelets through each side, and then I have the wheel chocks basically to keep the wheel in place, and then I have the wheel deflated a bit, and then I have this really heavy duty ratchet strap, 33,000 pound ratchet strap holding the spare in place, and this thing is not going anywhere. I'm not worried about this falling off the trailer. Like I'm pulling this with all my strength, and it's not going anywhere. These fenders have been through bolted to the frame of the trailer. On this side, I've also installed an RV window. It's a 31 by 15 RV window in vertical format, and this is actually how it's made to be put in, because there's a weep hole here at the bottom. The trailer hasn't had any leaks, no problem with water infiltration. All the sealant is in good shape still, and that goes to say for the roof vent as well. With this trailer, I was always thinking about multifunctional purposes. The goal with the fenders is to have surfaces that can be used for different purposes, for example. So when I'm setting up this awning, excellent company to deal with. I actually had to get my awning cover replaced, and they sent me a new one at no extra charge. On this side of the trailer, I guess the driver's side of the trailer, is where I have the awning opening, and it gives me 140 square foot cover essentially, and which more than triples the square footage of the trailer. And on this side of the trailer is where I keep kind of my cooler, my water. I'll have my string light set up here, and it just makes it a nice cozy space to be in with the trailer, and it's really easy to set up. Like I said, within 60 seconds I can get this awning set up, no problem. All the time I'm stepping on these fenders to get roof access. Solar panel, and I have some cabling, my roof vent up there, and then there's a pass-through at the front, and so having easy access to the roof of the trailer is essential. And you can see here I'm standing full weight on this fender, and it holds me up no problem. The textured finish gives a little bit of grip, which helps with, you know, trying not to slip and fall. The door latch is performing great, still works just like the day I installed it. I'm really happy with it. As you can see here, I've been sticker blasting the door. Eventually I hope to have this entire back door covered with stickers. And I actually made myself some nice Joel Tremblay YouTube stickers. Not sure yet if I'm gonna be selling them, but let me know in the comments if you want one of these things, and I'll try to get them to you. So inside the trailer, opening the door here, I just tried to spring and get some nicer finishes in here. So this is kind of how I usually set up the kitchen on the door. Table here folds down again, and the way I keep the door open is I put this piece of wood between the door. It's the perfect width to keep the door open flat. But then I use the spring here, and I set it just a little tight so that wind can actually pull the door out. I have the spring chain and that piece of wood working together to keep the door nice and secure and open. Obviously in the winter time, it's not ideal to keep your door open. Light underneath the shelf here, and there's my front runner kitchen cook set, stove, coffee maker, and yeah, that's it's a nice little setup to be under, especially when it's nice out. So this door is built out with 2-inch framing, and then I have insulation in there, so this door is fully insulated. Okay, let's get inside because it is cold out here. What I've done on the door as well, put in a 120 volt outlet hooked up to the inverter, and you can see I have a little cable, so when I shut the door, the cable simply just coils up, doesn't get tangled, and just stays like that. So another thing I've added is a RAM mount for an iPad, and we can watch movies at night. I had a lot of questions about this thing, so I'll leave the link in the description for that unit. Interior height is 5'6", with the insulation and the ceiling. I think it's now down to like 5'4". So I can't quite stand in it, being 6 foot, but it is comfortable to sit in, and I like to think of it as like kind of a hybrid between a teardrop trailer and, you know, a full-size trailer. So on the ceiling here, I have LED puck lights that I put in, and this is 1/4-inch aroma cedar planks. I installed an RV fan with push and pull air functions. This vent paired with the window opening and vent It really pulls and pushes air in the space. Ventilation is one of the most important things, especially in small spaces like this. So I wanted to make sure to have plenty of airflow to avoid moisture and humidity issues. On this front half here, I have 2 cupboards for storage, and in this middle one is also storage, but folds down to be a work surface table. This little gate latch opens up, that leg comes down, and you can see actually that's where I put my pillows. But once it's down, that is kind of your work surface table while you're sitting at the bench here. I upgraded the hinges for the legs themselves of the beds, and these latch into place. So there's no second guessing now when you're trying to set up the bed. You know the legs are always going to fall where they need to go. Spring-loaded latches that lock, and then you just press the pin to unlock them. So for ice fishing, as you can see, I have catch covers. I got 2 of them. I have a Home Depot bucket that I use as a sleeve. I can auger down through and make my hole. And I have my fish measuring GoPro mount for my phone, my old phone. And I use that for my fish finder. That simply just clicks into place like so. So that connects Bluetooth wirelessly to my fish finder, so I have visuals while I'm fishing. So I have a little cubby here, 2 USB slots there, and then I have a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug there. So I finally, after 2 years, have installed trim around the window. And basically I just used some leftover cedar plank and some plywood to make just a very simple trim. Floors, waterproof LVT plank flooring, and they've been holding up really well. When they're wet, they get a little slippery, so I have a little mat here that I just use in the winter time, but throughout the other seasons I don't have an issue. I did some clear flexible caulking around the bottom just to stop water from going up underneath and swelling this panel board. As you can see, I have a little patch here, and that's basically because I had to cut open the wall to get access to the bolts holding the fender, and just made little patch panels. I can pop those off if I ever need to. So this trailer is super insulated. I have 2 inches of rigid in the roof, 1.5 inches in the walls, and another 2 inches on the floor. I made sure to add some strapping across the studs so that I can add an additional insulation to stop thermal bridging between the metal studs of the frame of the trailer. I've had this trailer out minus 25 degrees Celsius, and I've been super comfortable in here. Today, I think it's like minus 11. And again, really comfortable in here. I had a lot of people ask me questions about the condition of the insulation on the floor. Give you a little sneak peek underneath the trailer. After 2 years of use, you can see the insulation is still in really good shape. And I didn't opt to enclose the bottom of the trailer because I want the insulation to be able to dry out and stuff. If I had put paneling underneath, it doesn't matter what I'll do, water and dirt and stuff will find its way in. And I'm just preventing air movement to keep that insulation from drying. Remember, it is XPS rigid insulation, so it is moisture resistant. It's not the ideal end-all situation, but after 2 years, that insulation is still there, and I haven't had any issues with it. So when I need to, everything can fold away, and basically I have a full empty space here to use as a cargo trailer. All the back of house, all the wiring, the battery, inverter, solar charge controller. This panel simply just pops out of place and gives me access to everything. I have videos showing how I installed everything. What you see here is a 100 amp hour lithium battery by CanBat. CanBat is supporters of the channel, and they do really high quality products. They're a little bit more expensive than, let's say, your Amazon brand, but what you're getting is good quality products that are going to be turnkey and you're not going to worry about it. It's open, accessible, protected with circuits and fuses. So basically I have my lead 2-aught cable coming from my battery to a battery kill switch. I then ran the 2-aught to a 50 amp circuit breaker. This is a Blue Sea Systems circuit breaker, a lot better quality than the one I put in originally. From that, it goes to a positive bus bar, which feeds a few things. From there, it goes to the inverter, which is a 2000 watt inverter charger by Renogy. This thing is a beefy unit, and honestly, I haven't really had to use it. The one reason why I bought this one is because it has an automatic transfer switch that can charge the battery. I haven't really used it, so I have a plug on the outside of the trailer that I can hook up to shore power. My solar panel has been doing such a good job that I haven't never had to actually connect to shore power to charge my battery. You can do it, I've done it just to test it out, but I never actually had to use it as a necessity. From the positive bus bar there, it goes up to a 30 amp circuit breaker, which feeds the solar MPPT charger. The other lead goes up to a 100 amp breaker, and that goes to my 12 volt 6-blade fuse panel. So down here is the diesel heater, nice and open and accessible, so if I have to take this out, I just have to take the 4 screws off the end there. And then I have the outlet here. I Nice hot air coming out. Above that is the 15 amp fuse for my 120 volt outlets. So everything is routed to this control panel. Here I have the diesel heater control panel. Super simple little remote. And I just installed a master switch so I can kill power to it. Above that, I have a battery monitor. Simple screen, gives me my voltage, my amperage, and my remaining battery percentage. Here's the remote for the inverter. Simple, just on off switch. And then here is the control panel for the solar charge controller. So yeah, that is the chuck box. I had a lot of fun building this trailer, and I just want everyone to know that, like, you know, the project is never done. I'm always using it and learning from it and editing and doing different things with it. And that's the beauty about doing a cargo trailer conversion, is that you don't really have to be finished in order to be using it. And I think that's the best approach, because then you're actually designing and building it for specifically you. Everyone's a little different, has their own little quirks. Over the years, this setup has become something that works for me and my style of doing outdoor activities, and I'm really happy with the trailer. I'm excited to do some ice fishing this year with it. So make sure to stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer. I'll leave a link in the description for all the products that I use for this trailer that I found helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned.